Yo, yo, yo. What's the dealio, y'all? What's the dealio, man? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? You already know we got a banger for you. All right? This live is going to be a banger. We about to chart. All right, we about to chart and we about to find some setups. All right, we about to see what's up. All right. Henry, what up? What up, Henry? How you doing? JT, how you feeling? What's up, Trees? How you doing? How you doing? If you guys are just tuning in, say what's up in the chat. Let me know where y'all tuning in from. All right. Also, like this video. Right. Let's get this live video right here to 100 likes. All right, collectively. You feel what I'm saying? We're gonna find some setups today, and we also gonna go over just what happened today in the market as well, so that we can be ready. We could be ready for tomorrow. All right. QTZ, what's up, QTZ? What's up, James? How you feeling? Shelly, hey, hey. Wave hands, what's up? Marquin, what up? Uber looking like a layup. All right, we gonna look at Uber. Hey, who? Listen, who made money on Lyft today? Did anybody make money on Lyft? Did anybody make money on Lyft? I want to know, because I told all of you guys the whole plan on Lyft, and look where it's at right now. All right, $23.75. Right, I was talking about $23. Thing blasted through it, and it did numbers today, up 7% today. All right, so who hit Lyft? I hope some of y'all hit it. Right, Ordinary Peeps, what up? What up, Pete Bryant? Jerry Godwin, how you feeling? How you feeling? All right, I didn't take it, but I saw it. Dang. What up, Reggie? How you feeling? About to get it in the morning. I'm good, man. I'm good, y'all. All right. So look, let's get it started. We gonna chart. We're gonna find some setups, and we're gonna go over what happened in the market today. All right. Davita said made some change. There you go. There you go. At least you made some money with it. You get what I'm saying? And you just keep building on it, building on it, building on it. All right. But hey Pamela, how you doing? What up, Johnny? How you feeling? How you feeling? All right. So if you guys are just tuning in and you haven't, do me a favor, just real quick, like this video. All right. Let's like this video. You guys already know I'm gonna give you levels. I'm gonna give you sauce. I'm gonna give you perspective. I'm gonna give you a playbook, and I'm gonna give you a game plan for tomorrow's trading session. All right. I'm gonna make sure that you guys understand what's being said, so that you can go make these trades on your own tomorrow. All right. She said she in leaps, but she watched the play. Okay. All right. So, let's go look at what's popping with the market. All right. Let's see what happened in the market today, y'all. All right. Let's get this charting session underway. All right. So we got. Here we go. All right. So what did I say, right? I said this week is going to be a make it or break it week, right? Because we gapped up, right? Let me real quick before we get back on the charts. We gapped up a lot of stocks. We gapped up to resistance, right? We gapped up in these order blocks, and then we immediately sold off. And then we recovered, and we came up, and then we got through certain levels, right? So that's what happened today. That's why the market sold off, or some of the market sold off to the downside, because they had to fill those gaps to the downside, right? So that's what happened. All right. Darrell, he said, what's up, Doc? I'm still in lift call. Gonna let it run a little longer. I got March 2026. Okay. So you should be up nice. You should be up nice with that one. Best Beezy, what's up? What's up? What's up, Angie? So we gapped up into resistance. Sold off, reversed, retried, came back up. All right. That's what happened today. So we got to see if we're going to hold and reclaim these levels, or if we're going to lose the levels and come back lower, right? So let's go and look at SPY, and we're going to look at IWM. And I'm going to give you guys the levels for SPY, and I'm going to give you guys the levels for IWM, right? And then we're going to look at some setups for individual stocks. But let me say this. If you want to make money every day, you could only trade indexes, right? SPY, IWM, QQQ. You could only trade those, and you can make a full-time income off of those as well. All right. I just want to say that. I just want to let you guys know and remind you guys, okay? My personal opinion, no matter what account size you have, I do think that IWM is the best ticker to trade, right? Index, because of the movement, the price of the contracts, and how much return you could get from them. All right. And once you understand how IWM moves, you're not intimidated by it. You're actually excited to trade it, right? I used to get cooked on indexes to the point where I was like, don't trade indexes. Like I didn't trade indexes, right? I got cooked on SPY a good amount of times, but I didn't understand indexes. I slowly got into IWM, started trading with IWM, started getting money with IWM, started spending more time with IWM, and then I started mastering IWM, right? So that's why I prefer it. I like it. I understand it. And every single day, I know I could confidently go make some good money on IWM alone, right? So I want you guys to understand that you don't always have to be trading 25 different stocks, right? You don't have to be in 18 trades at once. It's all about how you trade, okay? Just keep that in mind. It's not what you trade, it's how you trade, right? If we scalping, if we day trading, if we swing trading, if we got leaps, it's all about how you trade. Because you and me can trade the same ticker, the same setup, and we will have different profits, right? So don't chase the stock, okay? I want you to chase the execution. I want you to chase the precision, right, of your execution, of your entry. You get what I'm saying? It's not about the ticker, more so it's about knowing how to trade, knowing how to stay in, knowing how to break your psychological barriers, right? So you can increase your return, okay? Knowing when to cut your losses. This is what this is about, right? So please, please, please understand that it ain't what stock do I need to trade. It's about understanding how to trade, all right? I cannot stress that enough. This stuff is very, very, very important, all right? So now, what's up, Dr. V? What's up, Doria? All right, so let's go to the charts and let's go look at SPY and IWM and let's really see what happened today. And let's go look at the levels for tomorrow as well. All right. So SPY had a beautiful day, right? If you in the Prosperity Collective, you already know what time it was. We knew what time it was on Friday, okay? We already knew what time it was on Friday. People made $400, $500, $1,000 off of these failed two downs right here, okay? So SPY, we gapped up, right? So we could be coming higher. We could come and fill this gap right here, all right? So here's what I want you guys to pay attention to on SPY tomorrow, okay? What up, Adam? How you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling? Before I go over these levels on SPY, who trades SPY, right? If you trade SPY, put it in the chat because I want to make sure that people are even getting valuable information from what I'm sharing. Because if you guys don't trade SPY, I'm not going to go over it on the lives, right? But if you guys want these SPY levels, then I'll continue to do the SPY levels, all right? So let me know in the comments if you guys even care about SPY like that, right? I pay attention to SPY because it's the market, right? And it lets me know what's going on. And I'm always looking at the SPY in comparison to the MAG 7, right? So when I look at the SPY, I'm also looking at, okay, how is the MAG 7 doing, right? The tech stocks, and then a lot of other heavily weighted stocks as well. How are they doing, okay? So, okay, so y'all said I do, okay. but IWM is winning me over. Okay, I did. I made money. Okay, only IWM here or just watch SPY. Yep, I watch SPY, but I don't really trade it. But I will trade IWM every single day. All right. Okay. All right. Cool. So we'll still go over SPY and then we'll go over IWM. But you guys already know that IWM is my thing. All right. That's my jam. So that's what I really like to spend my time on. So okay. All right. Cool. So let's go, y'all. All right. So as you guys see, we gapped up here, right? And we had a nice day today. SPY was up 1.56%, right? So I want you guys to pay attention to this right here, right? When you look at this, you have right here, well, this is the opening, but it came down here. So let's go right here, all right, down to here. Boom, okay? So it's great that, we had a green day, we gapped up, people made money overnight, right? But now we have to pay attention to the gap that has now been created, right? This is when things start to get tricky in the market, right? It's easy to make money in the market when we've been down by 15, 20% and the market is just trying to recover, right? That's easy. But now that we gapped up and now we got this gap to the downside, now we got to really start being strategic with our trades and really start understanding what's going on the charts, right? This is how people get faked out because now they think that the market is just going to go up, right? And that's all they think. Now the market's just going to go up because they saw green, right? So we have a gap down here now. This is what we got to pay attention to. We got a gap down here that now has to get filled, right? So even though we coming up, we got a gap down here. So now this is going to be my my level, my area of interest, right? So if we keep coming up and we don't come down and fill this gap, when we come up higher, I'm going to be anticipating SPY dropping down to this area right here, right? Now tomorrow, what could happen is they could open flat, they could open a little bit lower, then they could come down and fill this gap and then bounce and go higher. Or what they can do is they can come up tomorrow, they can come up to, let's say, 686, reject there, and then they could come all the way down to 671, right? So because we have this gap here, we got to pay attention to the movement of the SPY, right? The movement of the SPY in relevance to the gap that was created, because the SPY is going to come and fill this gap, right? I want you guys to understand that. The SPY is going to come and fill this gap, right? It's just a matter of time. So if we start coming up higher, I want you to keep in mind this gap right here, all right? So if we come down tomorrow, right, we would have to break below 675.05, and then I would say puts, okay? So we're going to say puts below 675.05, right? 675.05, all right? So puts below 675.05 if we do drop. Now we look pretty strong today, so we could keep going up, right? And then I'm going to say calls above 682.11. All right? Calls above 682.11. All right? Calls above 682.11. Right? These are the levels for the SPY. All right, if we get above 682.11, we got the 685 level, 685.80, right? That's where we could start to reject. Now let's go to the 4-hour time frame real quick. Right? We go over here. We see that we got an order block right here at 685. Right? 684, 685. So this 684, 685 level is a place that you want to pay attention to. All right? So we go back to the daily. Let's look at the weekly real quick. It's on a 1 candle right here. So depending on how SPY closes on the weekly, that's also going to let me know what next week is going to look like. And if the end of this week is looking bullish, the next week is probably going to be bullish. And then we're going to keep going up and we're going to go higher. All right. So these are your levels for SPY right here. Okay. Calls above 682.11, puts below 675.05. We got a gap to the downside right here. All right. Keep in mind from 675 down to 671. All right. That's what we got for SPY. Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense, you guys. All right. Let me know if the SPY levels make sense. All right. If you guys are just tuning in, like this video real quick. All right. Let's get this video to 100 likes before we get off this live. I'm going to give you levels for SPY, IWM, and we're going to find some setups together for tomorrow, and I'm going to let you know exactly how to play them, right? The simplest way to play them so that you can make some money. Okay? Yeah. So let me know if that makes sense for SPY, and then we about to go over IWM, all right? Okay. Appreciate that, ordinary peeps. And also, if you guys are not, come join the Prosperity Collective and come trade with us, right? Come join the mentorship, all right? You come join the mentorship, your life will never be the same, right? Give it 6 months, and you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, right? We're gonna turn you up and we're gonna take you to another level. Okay? So let's go to IWM now. Right? Let's go look at M. Okay? So, IWM. Check this out. Now, this is going to be interesting, guys. All right? This is going to be real interesting right here. Because, look, on the daily time frame on Friday, we had a failed 2 down. Right? We had a failed 2 down on Friday. Today, we have a failed 2 up. Okay? Today, we have a failed 2 up. So, what else? We did close above the previous week's lows, right? We did close above the previous week's lows. So, and then it came all the way down here, filled the gap, bounced up, and went crazy, right? Went nuclear. Go to the 30-minute. They sold off at the end of the day. So they closed a little bit lower than where they opened at, right? So they actually posted a loss on the day. No, they posted so they opened here and they closed right there. Okay, yeah. So yeah. So with IWM, right? So they came down and they came up and then they sold off a little bit right here. Right? So when we're looking at this, let me go to the 4 hour. All right, when I'm looking at the 4 hour on IWM, I'm looking at this area right here. Okay. So realistically, we need to get above 245.85, right? 245.85 for IWM. So I'm going to put right here. Calls above 245.85. All right. Bang, right there. Because when we zoom in, we have a massive order block here And then we got this fair value gap right here that you could get rejected off of as well. All right. But once we get above there, we free range until we hit 252. Right. So calls above 245.85 for tomorrow. That's my area right there. 245.85 calls above 245.85. All right. For the downside, look right here. So we got support right here. It's going to be 242.21. But if we get below, realistically, I would say 243.28. Okay. So puts below 243.28. All right. Boom, right there. Okay. Puts below 243.28 tomorrow. Calls above 245.85 for IWM. Right? This is my levels right here. Okay? For IWM. We do have a failed 2 up on the daily. Right? So, pay attention. A failed 2 up, but there's the wick came all the way down to 242. The low is 242.28. So you got to think and understand, right? Yes, this is a failed 2 up, but we have a lot of buyers pushing the stock up. So this could be one of those times where it doesn't go back down. It may come down during the day and then rebound and go higher, but there's a lot of buyers, right? From Friday to today, tons of buyers. Right? We got all these buyers pushed it up, and then the buyers pushed it up here too, right? So with IWM, it's a failed 2 up, but it could just keep going up higher. Okay? So let me know if that makes sense on IWM, y'all. Let me know if that makes sense on IWM. And then we're going to get into some setups that are individual stocks. All right, but I like to go over those indexes first. So that's what we got on IWM. Those are the levels, and that's what I'm paying attention to. He said, if you're here and not join, what are you looking for? Everything in the Discord you need matter. Yeah, an experience. Yeah, y'all. Right? I'm gonna keep showing up on YouTube, but for more, for the play calling. To get access to the course as well. That's another thing that is just an add-on, right? Just come join. That's all you got to do. And in 6 months, you're going to look up and your life going to be changed, right? This is real life right here. All right. Best Beast, I got in on a 30-minute candle after the failed 2 down and got out at highs of day. It was at 123% trade. That's beautiful. I seen in Discord you said it was going to recapture highs of day. That was clutch. Yep. Facts. Yeah, failed 2 downs. Those are my favorite. If you don't know what a failed 2 down is, that's why you got to join the Discord, man. All right. We got everything you need to be able to do that. All right. I think Apply about to do the same thing you saying on this failed 2 up. Okay. Yeah. I was looking at Apply earlier today as well. So let's go to the charts and let's go find some setups. All right. If you guys are just tuning in, let me know where y'all tuning in from. All right. If you haven't already, drop your name in the chat. Right. Don't nobody bite. Let me know where y'all tuning in from, and also like this video as well. Okay. I'm giving you guys trading strategy. Right. People pay thousands of dollars for this. Legit. Right. I'm giving you guys levels. I'm helping you execute tomorrow. Right, so tomorrow you can see the feedback. I gave y'all yesterday. I gave you guys Lyft. Lyft went up crazy today. All right, so make sure you tap in. Make sure you like the videos and make sure you drop it in, engaging, and let me know where y'all are tuning in from. All right, I really want to continue to build a relationship with you guys, right? in the YouTube world, because one day we're gonna be able to take this, offline, and we're gonna be able to link up in person, right? So I want to know who I'm talking to. I want to know where y'all at. You know what I'm saying? What's going on and all of that other stuff. So that's why I like to make sure that I'm engaging and I'm telling you guys, listen, let me know where y'all tuning in from. I want to know where y'all are from, right? I want to know where y'all are at. So just keep that in mind, okay? Yeah, this information is not regular at all. We're going to look at applied in a minute too. All right. He said TPC is where it's at. I'm telling you, it's starting with a failed 2 down on a 1 hour. Okay. On IWM. Oh, failed 2 up right there. Yeah. Yeah, we going to see. When you have like a failed 2 up right at resistance or order block, it's a no-brainer trade. You know what I'm saying? Pamela, she said, thank you for giving us so much value. The courses, the community, the things that's offered. Yeah. Hey, that's how we get down. That's how we get down. We operate out of abundance over here. All right. Yeah, TPC is a lifestyle for sure. He said, my life got better rocking with you. Hey, man, I appreciate that, man. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, if I always say, when people come around me, when I talk to people, they don't go lower, right? People only elevate when they're rocking with me. So if you're rocking with me on a consistent basis on YouTube, your life gonna get better. All right, I promise you that. Right? I don't be making promises, but I promise you that. All you gotta do is really lock in and take the steps that you need to take, and you're gonna be able to get this money in the stock market. All right, it's a lot simpler than what you think. All right, if you're thinking it is hard, we could break those barriers and we can help you get this money. All right. It was a nice play on Lyft. Yep. And SoFi. Yep. And American Airlines. Right. I smacked 3 swing trades from Friday and last week. Right. Smacked those. So yeah, yo, we be doing our thing. I don't know, Jerry. Shoot me an email. All right. Shoot me an email. I told everybody, I said, hey, y'all, if you are already inside the collective, then make sure you update your card and do not lapse on it, because once we go up on the prices, that's gonna be it, right? So yeah. Did you already say, hey, this ain't no financial advice either, all right? My queen keeping me on my toes. I appreciate that. But yeah, y'all, this is not financial advice, okay? I'm sharing with you guys what I'm seeing on the charts, right? And that's just what it is, right? Go see a licensed financial advisor if you want financial advice. But if you want to see what my technical analysis is doing, then come rock with me on YouTube. All right. So yeah, like this video and let's go find some setups, y'all. All right. Let's go find some setups. All right. So we got IWM. We already went over that. We got Robinhood on the daily. Okay, so we got this right here, but let's go back real quick. Okay, on a 30-minute time frame. All right, so they had a nice move up here. So for Robinhood, let me see. So when I look at the daily and I look at Robinhood, I don't like this setup right here. I don't like this setup right here. It is a 2-up candle, but it's an indecisive candle, so it could go either way. So I'm not going to really pay attention to hood. I'm looking for explosive setups. I like Intel to the downside right here, okay? The reason why is because we got a failed 2-up. We got this fair value gap, right? And it just rejected off of that right there, right? It rejected off of that right there. So when I see that, now we could be going up because the rejection happened at the beginning of the day instead of the end of the day. The end of the day, they actually tried to make a comeback here, right? So I'm going to pay attention to Intel actually, and I'm going to see what they do tomorrow morning, okay? So we're going to go to on deck right here. We're going to go to Intel. We're going to go to failed 2-up. All right. We got NVIDIA. They had a failed 2-up, but they went up. We got and look, NVIDIA has that gap as well, right, to the downside. So they could go either way. So this is where, confusion starts to happen. We got Shopify. Shopify, where they at? So Shopify looks like they want to come up to 168. So I'm gonna put shop on a bullish continuation. Okay, and then when we see pre-market, I'm gonna see what they looking like. We got Uber. Uber's looking real good now, right? It's looking like it wants to come back up to that $96. So on Uber, I'm gonna look for a 222 continuation. All right. Then we got what? We got Applied. Applied looks good to the downside, right? We got a failed 2 up after a failed 2 down. So if we get below right here, 31.20, then we could definitely come to the downside. All right. So this could be this downtrend. If you look at, let's go to the 2 hour right here, right? Look at this. Right, we come down a little bit, zoom in some, and this is what I see on APLD. On APLD, we got this this trend line right here, right from the top. This trend line right here. So it came up here and it rejected, right? And then we got like this area right here. So hold on. All right, so we got this area right here. Boom. So Applied looks like they could be trying to come down to like $27 potentially and or 26 to hit this order block or this PD premium discount area right here. So what I would say is on APLD, you see this area right here, right? For APLD, you see this support is holding strong, right? So APLD needs to get below 3107. All right. For you to be thinking about puts, APLD needs to be getting below 31.7. Because look, right? It came down, bounce, came down, bounce, came down, bounce, right? Rejected, came down, bounce, came down, bounce, came down, bounce, right? So once it gets below $31, then it's going to give out and then it could retrace all of this right here, right? So I would set an alert on APLD, right? I will set an alert on APLD under $31. All right. And then once it goes off, you take entry and you go make your money. Okay. That's how I would play APLD. All right. What else we got? Google. Google went up. Google's about to, they look like they want to break all-time highs, right? So I'm going to look at Google to the upside tomorrow. All-time high breakout. All right. I'll look at Celsius in a minute, Adam. Hims is on a failed 2 up here. I like, this is still a demand zone right here. So Hims could definitely come up strong. So I'm not really going to look at Hims tomorrow. Roblox failed 2 up. Palantir 2 up candle. Carvana. Dell, they had a bearish 3 bar. So I'm going to actually look at Dell. Dell could be coming down to 137 tomorrow. So I'm going to look at Dell. That looks like it could be a layup. All right. 3 bar, bearish. Okay. Nike, they look like, let's see, Nike on a 2-1. They could definitely come down, but I'm not going to pay attention to them too much. XYZ broke his head and shoulder pattern. Okay, we'll look at that one. Does Google have a gap? Yeah, Google has a gap to the downside all the way at like 215. But they at 290 right now. So, all right, so Affirm, they came up to this order block. They rejected right here. So let me see what they did. What happened? They opened up, came up, rejected, and they just consolidated today. So we'll see what happens with them. AMD, boom, came up. They rejected off of this 9 EMA right here. So I'm not going to look at it. TSLL. SoFi, they had a beautiful day today. All right, SoFi had a beautiful, beautiful day today. Lyft, Look at them. Lyft, if they get above 23.92, they could really go crazy. So pay attention to Lyft tomorrow as well again. Circle failed to up. In phase, CoreWeave failed to up. They just had earnings. They had earnings and they missed earnings, so I think they're down at like $100. So CoreWeave could go down to about $87 potentially. Let me see where they're at in after hours right now. In after hours right now, they are at $98. Okay. They're at $98 for CoreWeave. That puts them in this gap right here. Okay, 98. So I think that tomorrow CoreWeave could be coming down even lower. You could see CoreWeave come down to about $87. All right, $87. So that's what I'm looking at for CoreWeave tomorrow. But they beat on earnings, so they gap down. So we got to see what happens. Okay, on the 3-bar right here, if they open up, if CoreWeave opens up above $84, then they could bounce and then really start to come up. All right, so that's CoreWeave tomorrow. Who else we got? Meta. Meta looks like if Meta can get above 643, they're going to blast off. All right. Meta needs to get above 643 for them to really, really blast off. Right. So keep that in mind. They need to get above 643.70 before they can really blast off and do some nasty numbers. All right. So that's your number for Meta. They need to get above. Lululemon, they bouncing a little bit, right, off this little demand zone area right here. Tesla, CrowdStrike, they went crazy. Adobe, who else? We got Webull. They on a failed to up today. Amazon, they had a nice day. Amazon looked like they still, they undecisive, okay? The buyers and the sellers, they fighting it out right now, right? So Amazon still got this big gap to the downside. So if we start seeing some red candles, that could be an indication of where it's going. All right, so pay attention to Amazon to the downside. SMCI, PanW, who else? Oracle, VRT. They had a failed to up and they got a gap to the downside. So I'm gonna look at VRT, right? I like this setup a lot. Okay, VRT failed to up, right? So on a failed to up and they gapped down. I mean, they gapped up as well, right? So if we're looking at that, let's go to the 30-minute. Look at that. They came down and then they came up. So if VRT gets below 184.94, then you could ride puts to the downside on VRT, right? So that's something to pay attention to. Netflix. We got Alibaba, MRK. We got Starbucks, right? Failed to up. Celsius. Oh yeah, Celsius looks good actually. Let's look at it. So here's how I would play Celsius, right? I would actually swing Celsius, maybe starting tomorrow, right? So here's how I would play Celsius. We got the 200 EMA right here at 48.44, and then we got 52.50. Okay, so first things first, we got this level right here at 48.38. And then we got this level right here at 52.50, right? If Celsius gets above 45.37, then you can take calls, okay? And then you could ride it up to here, which is 46.24, and then the next level is gonna be 48.38, right? So I might actually take this tomorrow if we get above. If Celsius could get above 45.37, then I would enter in the calls, right? And then what I would do is I would wait until it got to here, 46.24, and I would see how it performs. If it can continue to go higher, then I would ride it up to the 200 EMA right here at 48.38. Okay, that is a $3. Is that $3? That's a $3 move right there. Okay, now let me break this. Let me break this down for you. Right, $3 of $45. Okay, $3 move divided by 45, right, times 100. That is 6%. Okay, that's a 6% stock move on a share, right? If a stock can move 6%, you got over 100% trade. All right. Now, if your contract is out further out, then it may not. It may be 75%. You see what I'm saying? But if you have a contract and the stock moves 6% and your expiration date is this week or next week, and it happens, you are going to hit 100+% on this trade. Okay, so keep that in mind, right? Keep that in mind. That's how you want to think. Okay, what's up, Harley? How you doing? So for Celsius, I like Celsius on a 2-on-2 bullish reversal. CLH, I like this one a lot actually. Okay, this one right here has a great risk to reward. Okay, we've already come down. We've already come down substantially, right? From 59 all the way to 44. We really was at 41. Bounced up. Now we got a 2-1 candle right here. Okay, so tomorrow it breaks above this 45.28. Enter in the calls, and you can let that thing rip. All right, you can just let it rip. All right, that's a 2-1-2 bullish reversal right there. So I really like Celsius to the upside. So that's a good one right there, Adam. That's a good one right there. APP, Google, Marvell, AVGO. What up, Dres? XYZ. Microsoft. Who else? Delta Airlines, ARM. Apple. Apple looks like they want to come down, but there's a lot of buyers in this area all the way down to about 247. So it's going to be a fight for them to come down. Like, Apple is not just going to have a crazy red day with all these buyers sitting here. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take some time and some wearing down for them to come back down to 245, 246. All right. So that's Apple. We got Citigroup right here. Are them plays in the money, week expiration date? In the money or out of the money. You could do either. Just depends on the setup. I would probably say a little bit out of the money and not be afraid of it, but everybody has a different tolerance. All right, we got DoorDash. We got UAL. We got IBM. I like this setup a lot. I'm gonna put IBM. We got a 2-1-1. We got a double one candle. Okay, 2 days of consolidation. All right, 2 days of consolidation. What this means right here is IBM is about to blast off. So we got IBM right here. All right, we got a 2-1-1-2 setup. All right, so we got that there. Apple is the king of wicks for sure. I'll look at XYZ in a minute. I'm almost down to them on the watch list. All right. Isiah, when do you start the strat? When do you start the strat sequence? Do you always start from yesterday's candle and then look at today's candle? I start the sequence like let's say. So number one, I know the setup, right? So let's say I'm looking for a 2-1-2. I'm looking for a 3-candle sequence, right? The next candle is going to be the finishing of that sequence. So if I'm looking for a 2-1-2, I'm going to look for a 2-1. You see what I'm saying? So that way, once that one candle closes, I'll know the break above or below this candle is going to be my entry for puts or calls, right? So it's basically it's the last 2 candles. And then what is this next candle that is about to open up about to do, right? So let's say I'm looking for let's go back to Celsius, right? So we got a 2-1, right? So I would be looking for a 2 up candle right here. So it's the last 2 candles. Let's say I want a day trade, okay? Let's say I want a day trade and I'm looking at Celsius. I would say, okay, 3-2, right? 3 candle and then a 2, right? If it created a 1 candle right here, I will wait for the 1 candle to close and then I will wait for a 3-1-2 to trigger, okay? So that's how I would do that right there. Okay. So, so yeah. What else we got? CRM 3 bar. Okay, CRM we got a 3 bar right here. So they got a lot of momentum. So they about to come back up to 246 from 241. All right. Let's go to CRM and we got a 3 bar. 3 bar. All right. Yeah, if y'all haven't, man, like this video, okay? How many people we got? We got 56 people on here on live. Yeah, like this video if y'all haven't already, all right? Giving y'all guys real strategy, real levels, right? Letting you guys know what I see. So, yeah, like get them likes up, all right? See, we got ANET. ANET came up. It created a failed 2 up right here. So we need ANET to get above 138.33. We need ANET to get above 138.33. We got gold. They had a nice day today. I'm going to look at gold to the upside. Okay, because now they look like they could start trending up. And so gold's runs are insane when they run, right? FedEx, they dropped nice. They hit this target from last week. They dropped. TSM, IBIT, okay, XOM Mobile, United Health, what we got? Bitcoin, Coinbase, MU, Silver, Tempest, Duolingo, Reddit, that's a Reddit, IONQ, Rocket Lab. So Rocket Lab had a fail 2 up, but they gapped up crazy. So we gonna see what they looking like tomorrow. Jeff said, why does IBM have a 4-bar sequence? That's just my thing, right? Like, because I understand the strat, right? So here's the thing, right? Because I understand the strat and I've been really trading the strat, what happens is you start to kind of find your little things, your little hacks, your little cheat codes, right? And a sequence on the strat is usually 3 candles. But what I've learned is whenever I see 2 days straight of consolidation, 2 1-bar candles back to back, or sometimes 3, whatever direction the stock goes is going to be a crazy move, right? It's going to blast off or it's going to dump crazy because it consolidated for 2 straight sessions. If we're looking at the daily time frame, if you see 2 days straight of a 1 candle, whatever direction it breaks above or below, it's going to be a crazy move, right? So that's just me learning, like knowing the strat and knowing what I'm looking at. So it's not a real sequence, but that's one of those ones that when you learn it, you really could cash in on that and you can make a lot of money. All right. So that's what I would say to that. All right. So what else we got? We got Iran. We got QBTS. We got Oscar. We got Rigetti. Right. I got to see how Rigetti did after earnings. We got QUBT. So look, all these small cap stocks, QUBT, RGTI, QBTS, they all have failed 2 up candles as well, which means that they're in IWM, and IWM also has a failed 2 up candle. So IWM could be coming down tomorrow. All right. and or sometime throughout the week. So that's something to pay attention to as well. All right. So and we got D Dog. They went crazy right here. So what else we got? AMAT. All right. ABBV fell two down right here. I'm gonna put let me see, 219, 220, 222. I like Dell a lot. So yeah, let's see. Somebody said Texas Instruments. Texas Instruments to the downside. I mean, they look like they look like a this looks like a little bear flag right here, right? Boom. And then we flag it out right here. And then you flag it out right here, right? So that looks like a bear flag. And then if it got to get below like 158, it gets below there. If it breaches here, then we could see it in a free fall all the way down to like 144 potentially. So this actually looks pretty decent for a setup, honestly, right? Got a down move, consolidation, failed to up right here. So Texas Instrument look like they could definitely be coming down. For sure, for sure. All right. So yeah. So the setups that I'm gonna focus on tomorrow, based on what I'm seeing, is going to be my high priority setups are gonna be IBM, CRM, and Celsius. Okay. All right. Celsius. Celsius is right here. Okay. I like Celsius on a 212 bullish reversal. I really like that one. It has a very great upside potential, right? And then I got CRM on a 3-bar bullish. CRM, look at this. So we got a bullish 3-bar right here, a full retracement. We could come right back up to 246.50 from 241. All right, we go to the 4-hour. Yeah, we just got to get above like right here, 242.39 or yesterday's high, right? So I like CRM. And then I also like IBM as well to the upside, right? IBM right here. Okay. We got a 1 candle and a 1 candle. Okay. We can see IBM come right up to 315 tomorrow. All right. And also we are on a bull flag as well. Okay. On IBM. So IBM right here, a move to the upside. And then look what we got. We got a flag right here. Okay. And we got this right here. So we got IBM getting ready to go crazy, right? If it breaks above 309.94 tomorrow, then I would take entry on calls and I would ride it up to 315. Okay, so that's IBM. IBM looks like a beautiful setup right here. All right. So we got IWM, of course, and then we got Celsius, we got IBM, and then we got CRM. All right. I like all those setups for tomorrow to the upside. Okay. Oh shit, my bad, y'all. Let me see. Raisha, did I mention? I'll go over AMD in a second. So I said we got IBM right here. Okay. We got IBM right here. We got this bull flag, move to the upside, consolidation, right? We got 2 candles, 2 days straight of consolidation right here. All right, consolidated down, consolidated up. If we get above 309, then it's going to be going to 315. Okay. So I really like IBM to the upside. Then I like Celsius as well, right? 212 bullish reversal, boom, right there. And then we got CRM as well. Like I said, CRM, we got a 3 bar. We could come right up to 246. All right. So that's what I see right there. And let me go over AMD real quick. AMD. This is a 2-up candle right here on AMD. If we look at the 30-minute time frame, we got let's see. We gapped up, of course, and then we came down and then we came back up. So on AMD, if it gets above 248.86, then I would say enter in the calls, right? Or what you could do is if you get above 246.91, then you can enter in the calls, right? But AMD is going to come back to retest this 256 level. That's where it's en route to, right? It's coming up. It wants to come up and test 256. That's what AMD is trying to do. So if we get above 248, then it's going to 256, okay? So that's what I have to say about AMD. All right. So those are my top picks for tomorrow. Okay. Those are my top picks for tomorrow. These are some fire setups, right? Shout out to Adam for putting Celsius on my radar. The other ones look great as well. So you guys know your levels for IWM, for SPY as well. Now you guys see my setups. All right. That I'm going to be focusing on for tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's trading session. Okay. So do y'all have any questions, right? If y'all have any questions, then let me know in the chat or in the comments. I got a little bit of time, so I'm willing to, you know what I'm saying, to spend that time real quick. So do y'all got any questions? If you have any questions, drop it in the comment in the chat. Okay, and we'll go from there. Raisha said, "Thank you. I'll see you in the morning." Yeah. Every morning we trade live every single morning. So we gonna get some money together tomorrow, Raisha. So shout out to that, right? Shout out to that, man. All right. So let's see. So yeah, there's always gonna be an abundance of setups, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. We are gonna see. All right, Adam. All right, yeah, you have a good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Oh yeah, XYZ. Let's look at XYZ real quick. Okay, so let's go, right? XYZ. Boom. All right, so let's look at this. Okay, we go to the monthly. Ooh, okay. So it posted red. So because we're on the 10th of the month, we gotta let it cook and see what it do. Cause it came down to this fair value gap and it bounced here. Let's look at the pattern. So I do see the head and shoulders though. I see a shoulder here, a shoulder here, but usually head and shoulder patterns, they come from the bottom and they come up, right? So because this pattern, it didn't come up from like down here, it doesn't look as appealing, but I do see two shoulders right there and a head right there, right? But that is on the monthly. So let me go to the weekly and see. Okay, so we got a 2 down candle last week, obviously. It looks like it's going to try to come back up to $70.93. It could try to test that level, and then if it rejects there, then it'll come down, right? And that is going to be almost right here, right? So that's the area to pay attention to. But on a daily time frame, there's a lot of selling pressure in this area, so I could see XYZ rejecting and then trying to come and take this area out and then come lower, right? If it really wants to continue to come to the downside, right? So that's what I see on XYZ, right? But it did invalidate this bull flag from here, right? It invalidated this bull flag from here. So, so that's what I see on XYZ. What would I call the neckline? Uh, the neckline on this, um, so the neckline would be right here. The neckline for me, the way I'm looking at it, would be right here. Right? This would be the neckline for me. Right? And that would be like 62.36, right? Like 62.36 area, that would be the neckline for me. Right? So if it don't come below here, then I wouldn't even mess with it, right? I wouldn't even mess with it at all. Okay. But yeah, when I look at Head and Shoulders, I would like to see them have a come from a further place from the bottom, come like from here all the way up here, and then create the Head and Shoulders. So I know it's gonna drop, but this could just be it bouncing off of here, coming a little bit lower and bouncing off, and then going to the upside, right? Because on XYZ they have way more upside potential, right, than they do downside potential. So yes, they could come down, but look at the risk to reward here, right? The risk to reward here is massive. So all XYZ is trying to do is trying to pop up above, like get back to $100 level, and then it could come up to like 140, which is an equilibrium zone, right? Which means that this stock would be balanced. So I like XYZ for the long term for sure. Okay? So that's my analysis on XYZ. All right, that's my analysis on XYZ. He said, if the setup is there, but the spreads are large, what is the largest you would comfortably play, or does it depend on the stock and volume? For me, it depends on a swing trade or a day trade, right? And my expected move, right? So this is a great question. The bigger the spreads, number one, I am going to have a cutoff. So there, I don't care how great the setup is. If the spreads are $2, I'm not going to do it, right? Also, my expected move is what I'm looking for. I'll get into a swing trade if, let's say, the spread is like $1, $1.20. I'll get into that swing trade if I'm expecting that stock to move $25, the spread ain't gonna matter, right? But if I'm expecting a $2 move and the spread is $120 difference, I'm not gonna do it. So it depends on if you're gonna swing this contract, this trade, and also what is the expected move of your actual contract. And then what I would do is I would place an order at like mid or the bid, right? And see if I can get filled at a lower price. And also you want to ask yourself, how bullish are you, right? If the stock is, if you're very bullish, people that are very bullish, they will enter in trades at ask because they don't care about the price that they're getting in at. They know how far it's about to go, right? So if you're not very, very bullish on it, then you don't want to get that at the ask price, right? So you got to ask yourself, what type of move am I expecting from this stock? But me personally, I just like to stay away from stocks that have those wide ass spreads because there's so many stocks on the stock market that have great spreads, right? That have liquid spreads. So that's why I stick with stocks that just have good spreads and I just keep it pushing, right? Usually the biggest spread I'm gonna go is on like HIMS, right? But that's because I'm comfortable with HIMS and I'm comfortable with how it moves, right? So that's what I would say to that question. All right. XLV for sure, best B. All right. Hey, if you guys haven't, like this video. We're gonna look at XLV real quick, and then we're gonna get up out of here. XLV. We got healthcare. It's an ETF right here. So it's an ETF. On the monthly, it's coming up. On the daily, it's looking good. It's right here at this order block at resistance. XLV looks like it's about to blast off, honestly. If XLV gets above like 147.40, then it's coming up to 150. So this actually looks beautiful. You know what I'm saying? This actually looks very, very beautiful. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, that's XLV. So yeah, that's the charting session for tonight, you guys. That's the charting session for tonight. What I would say is, if you guys are not, be sure, come join the family, come join the Prosperity Collective, come live trade with us, come get this money with us, right? Come join the mentorship. It's not just a Discord, it's not a course, it's a mentorship. We're gonna be with you along the way, and so is a community, and we all gonna make money together, and we all gonna change our lives together on an everyday basis. All right. So I appreciate all y'all time. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Why don't you trade mostly with the Mag 7 stocks, since these have volumes? I do. All right. I do. I trade. I like Google. That's one of my favorites. I like IWM. That's not Mag 7, but it's an index of small cap stocks, right? And sometimes some of these stocks are a little bit hyped up. Sometimes the premiums get inflated because of the implied volatility, and I won't trade those around that time, right? But yeah, I will trade Google a lot. I don't mess with Microsoft though, but I'll mess with Meta, Google, Nvidia. I'll trade those for sure. All right. You said don't chase struggle money. Exactly, right? We don't trace struggle price action, right? Struggle price action, we do not mess with struggle price action. All right. I only want to trade stocks that are moving. That's why I find setups that are getting ready to move. All right. I only find setups that are getting ready to move. So when I have a setup and I'm like, hey, I think that this stock is going to do X, Y, and Z, I'm talking about within the next 1 to 2 days. I am not talking about a month from now, right? I don't want to talk about a stock and then it's taking forever to get to the place. No, right? Like, that's what investing is about. I like to trade and I like to make money in like rapid paces, right? So that's what I like to say. That's how I say about that. All right. So yeah, we don't trade struggle price action. All right. So with that being said, y'all, make sure you get up out your head, go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right. And also remember, the more you study, the less you worry. All right. I appreciate y'all time tapping in, tuning in for this last hour. I hope that it provided value for you guys. I hope that you guys come back. I hope that you guys come and join the Prosperity Collective and make some money with us. All right. And I hope prosperity on all of y'all. All right. So I'm only sending you guys love. You guys have a great night. You have a great trading day tomorrow. And I am going to tap in with you guys on tomorrow's video. All of y'all stay smooth, man. Peace.